I'm supposed to really rely upon self-love for them things, them not to depend upon people for etc. etc. But I mean, at the end of the day, what we going in a relationship for? Hey fam bams, welcome back, and if you're new here, I'm Nyli and welcome to my channel. First and foremost, what I really want to get into is the support I received for the last video, you guys. It was truly amazing, and I'm going to share with you guys a few of the comments and messages that I received somewhere here along the screen. Okay, so now that's out of the way, I just want to really tell you guys thanks so much for taking the time out to watch the last video. I know it was a lengthy one, and thanks for all the support that you guys gave to me, those that commented, those that reached out to me personally, etc. Alright, so when we last spoke, I had asked you guys, I suggested rather that you guys could reach out to me if you felt the need to talk to someone, I'd be a listening ear for you. And someone actually did. And to my surprise, it was a young man. Yes, a young man. Me swear say, a girl would have reached out to me, or you don't know, because we're more emotional, so me think say a girl would have reached out to me if we have a one-on-one. A young man reached out to me on behalf of his spouse. Told me that she's going through the same things and felt much better after watching the video. He could understand her more and deal with the situation better, because he did admit that he wasn't really treating her fairly and he felt bad about it, etc. But I just want to tell you, young lady, if you're watching this right now, that you're not alone. You have all of us. We're your family. We're there for you. And please, guys, remember to follow Purpose Child on Facebook. That's where we can link up and talk about anything. If it relates to anxiety, whatever the case may be. You get me? On behalf of that young man that reached out to me about his spouse, I decided that I'm going to dedicate this video to them and to every other couple out there that are facing anxiety issues but don't really know what it is. But anxiety and relationships and anxiety, and how them work out, how them really go hand in hand. For me personally, I didn't tell in the last video, say I'm not really hiding up from one. So I'm going to share an entry in my journal with you guys for kind of help and explain and elaborate on how a person with anxiety can feel in a relationship. Dear journal, it's after 10 p.m. I'm up alone in tears and pain that seems to worsen by the second. How is it possible that he had absolutely no problem falling asleep seconds after I told him this? Then he tells me he loves me. Occasionally, and I should believe this? Deep down, I know he doesn't know what love is. I know he might have feelings for me, but it sure isn't love. I've never and don't think I'll ever know what it feels like to be completely loved by anyone. For years, I've been in pain, both emotionally and physically. Every time I tell someone I expect to show some concern that I'm in pain, it goes through both ears. How am I supposed to be in a relationship and I can't even get that? A little comfort, a hug even. Something to let me know someone actually cares about my existence. To show that if I die tomorrow, I'll be sincerely missed. No one, anyone, someone. Guess all I have is myself. I don't feel like I'm ever gonna be of any significance to anyone other than my family. Things I don't feel in a relationship. I never feel special, sexy, attractive, loved, safe, like it's all gonna be okay. Despite reality, I don't feel wanted, needed, important, respected, cherished, as if I'm enough, beautiful, valued, alive, as if I exist. Because he doesn't tell me he loves me. We barely ever hold hands. We don't kiss, hello or goodbye in case something happens. Nothing like that. Rarely compliments me. Doesn't care about the one thing I do and love, music. He doesn't care if his actions or words hurt me. We argue instead of talking. Ignores me when I'm sad instead of finding out why. Cares more about his satisfaction than my happiness. Finds joy in pointing out my flaws. Doesn't care about compromise, his way or no way. compares me to his exes, has trust issues, calls me out of my name, disrespectful, right? We know what everybody gonna say. Like when them listen to the diary intro, I just read. I'm supposed to really rely upon self love for them things. Them not to depend upon people for etc. etc. But I mean, at the end of the day, what we go in a relationship for? Forget them same things there. Cause I mean, those things coming from me to myself is completely different than that of someone else. You get me? So me in a relationship, whatever me I get in the relationship, completely different than what me I get in the relationship when I have with myself. When it comes to people who have anxiety in a relationship, it really sticky. The most important thing to we, communication. When that's lacking, then it's like everything has gone haywire. Because remember, anxiety make we overthink. It make we think a lot of things, not material things. You could have reached till God come. We don't care about that. They tend to feel very unattractive. They don't easily feel loved. They don't feel special, safe. Like everything will go alright. Like despite what going on in the relationship, them still go question it and I say, yo, I wonder if them really love me. I wonder if this is real. If you are in a relationship with the person and you swear to God say you're doing everything that is right, them are gonna question it the whole time. It sounds sad, but it don't really take much for make them feel safe. It don't really take much for us to feel okay. Little reassurances here and there, like, oh, I love you, baby, you're very beautiful. I like your hair. You look handsome today. Them little things there can go a long way. We can be quite a handful. We're often times misunderstood a lot, and it's not easy for in our relationships. No, I touched on a whole topic a while ago. And one in particular, when them call it out your name or when them compare you, we not like them something there. Because we already a struggle with questioning with self and doubting with self and them something. So basically, every relationship have problem. You get me? But if you're gonna deal with somebody that has mental conditions, it is way more complicated. So if you pre-doubt on your meds and you say, boy, enough for me, don't do it. Listen to your mind. Listen to your conscience, because people with mental conditions are dependent on their loved ones to help and manage the situation. They are dependent. We are dependent on our loved ones to help us manage the situation. So if you don't understand it and you're not sure and you have one foot in and one foot out, it's gonna affect the relationship. It's gonna make it harder than it really needs to be for both of us, for the victim and for you. Communication. Communication is very important to us, because if we feel like the person don't understand me, then it don't make no sense to me. Like, for example, we have an argument, probably a stupid argument, but no relationship is perfect. We're going to have arguments, but how you deal with the argument will really get to it. As I say, the things that I talk about, it's regular and natural things. This for regular relationships, but for people with anxiety, we go from 0 to 100 like in less than 5 minutes. I kid you not. I'm talking from personal experience. Sometime after the fact, I be like, we don't go on so far. To myself, I'm like, no girl, you never have to go on so. Or your man deal with you. Right. But it is what it is. We really desire partners that can understand us and emphasize patience. Because if you don't have no patience, you not go deal with it. You not go make it. And disclaimer, I don't want it to sound like people who suffer from anxiety do not deserve love. We not deserve a relationship, because we do sound like a handful, but we're actually very loving people. We don't need much. We don't need much. We don't need material things to be happy. We don't need the glamity things, You don't need to carry go a 5-star hotel. I mean, those are pluses and those are awesome, but we don't need that to be happy. We just need no communication, no respect, on the time and on the patience and understanding, and we're good.
You're going good, beautiful. Actually, you're doing well. Go ahead, continue. You got this.
Thank you. Now, the young man that reached out to me, I won't call any names, of course, but he reached out to me and he was like, enough time. The two of them have arguments and he would have called her out her name and like tease her about it, make fun about the situation, be like, yo, you're lazy, or you know. Yeah, I don't want to talk too much about it because in case them a watch and I don't want she to feel no way. I'm not gonna say too much, I'm not gonna dish out too much dirt. But for us, when we choose people to date, an important thing that we look on is if we can reason with the person, how much we can open up to the person, because it's very hard for us to open up to people. Like if we share certain things we don't know, on a special. You get me? Because we fear opening up to people and have them throw them same things that back on our face. So in a relationship, if we have an argument and you're gonna be like, go girl, sometimes you're not being irritated because those things do happen to us. Enough time we don't feel like bed. Enough time we don't feel like cook. Enough time we don't feel like pretty up ourselves, and I mean there's the man side as well. You get me? Enough time the man don't feel like bed, enough time them don't feel like floss, enough time them don't feel like trim up themselves and groom up themselves and look hot and everything. Because it's not that they don't want to, we just not have the energy. But when it comes to the understanding aspect of the relationship now, this is when it really needed the most for to understand. So, oh, she not look her best right now, but there's no need for you guys to tell us that. You get me? You can still tell her that she's beautiful. You can still tell him say I'm handsome even though I'm bush up and look like Rami Goat or whatever. You can still compliment them. It goes a long way. That in itself will make you feel like, alright, maybe me can pretty up to there. You get me? Maybe to them I can come here, and maybe to them I can go barber, go line up and whatever. That goes a long way. The respect part, no. Because you can't love somebody without respect. Not because me have my problem and me dish out to you, and say, babe, say me struggle with this too or whatever. When me there in my weakest moment, when me dead on my face, that means say if you take what me tell you, that mean you have to take what me cry to you about and use against me at that time when we have a little arguments. You get me? Now is the time where we need to sit down as two adults and talk about it, talk it out. Give us some time for recuperate. And there's so much more, but me not tell no lie. When the young guy reached out to me about the relationship and thing, and it really touched me. And me did encourage him how to move forward in a relationship, because anxiety mash up enough relationship. Whether it be because the victim don't understand what they go through, or because of the problems that it causes between the two. It mash up enough relationship for me, I'm not gonna lie. Because I never feel like I resonate with the person. And it just couldn't go no further. We couldn't grow. And if there's no connection, it not gonna reach nowhere. And as me explained to you, that's very important. I have to can talk to the person. I have to can feel comfortable enough to know say, oh, when I not feel too pretty or whatever, the person not gonna really judge my feet. You get me? I'm not gonna feel pressured for do certain things when I don't want to do certain things, and people not talk just sex, because there's more to relationships than sex. I mean, just being there, just being the perfect girlfriend at that time. Sometimes I not feel I'm in a business, like I don't want to do nothing. But it is what it is, and at the end of the day, who wanna for you, not gonna ever be for you. So I'm not really sorry about the relationship that will never work out, because we can't settle for less than we deserve. Nobody at all, anxiety or not.
And we point out a very controversial topic, sex and anxiety. That's the next topic we can get into. From respect.
like respect what me I go through. Respect my struggle.
Mm-hmm.
Respect that.
You can also talk about how much the respect is, like how much burden it puts on somebody on anxiety, because majority of the time, like, people don't even have respect for themselves, so it lays down to the person being disrespectful to the person who have anxiety, so that would be like a heavy burden to them, whereas them will seek refuge, they must seek escape from them, but the person just not being respectful to nothing, like not to the issue, not to themselves, not to nobody. So
the struggle.
yeah. So basically, it becomes a burden for somebody with anxiety, because it's like you want to help that person to realize that
Become a burden to the person with the anxiety, or the person will have to deal with the person with the anxiety.
the person both, well, the person with anxiety most, because that person sees them have an issue, both planes. You have an issue with respect, me have issue with anxiety, receiving your disrespect. So it's like me want show you, say I be disrespectful, but you're too focused on me having anxiety. You're blaming me with my something, saying, yo, it's too much for them. So that's why they're that way, but they're disrespectful for overall. So I'm saying, where somebody's being disrespectful on the outside, remember, respect is a thing where without anxiety, as you did say, without anxiety it is important, but with anxiety it's heavier, because like the person just want that, and the person is already disrespectful. So because the person love them are gonna want to help them to be respectful, but when the person be disrespectful, how them help them can't pass that. It's something hard to pass. And then the person will have anxiety, I go feel like them why they might be disrespectful, maybe they might annoy them, maybe, and me make him stay, so, or maybe because every time I help him have anxiety attacks, so it anger him even more, so good points. So you see me, I said some things, but I'm falling in love a million times. I'm like the man behind
Yeah.
I'm just the cameraman. Not being paid enough, guys. I'm sorry.
What? I mean, it pressuring, for both parties. It pressuring for the person who have the anxiety, and it pressuring for the person who have to deal with the person with the anxiety, because them new to it, especially if them never dealt with nobody who have the problem before. From the victim's perspective, them feel pressured not only because of the present or current relationship, but because of the past relationship them what them have before, and them afraid say, boy, this a relationship I gonna be the same way, because we fine tune everything, we pre everything, we think about everything, we watch every movement, we overthink a lot. But it's a blessing and a curse, because the partner can be genuinely doing the right things, you get me, but the moment the partner sleep and think, we go haywire, we start thinking about one bag of things and say, oh shoot, maybe I'm not pretty enough, that's why I'm doing this, maybe I'm not handsome enough, that's why, like we have a complete relationship, a completely different relationship about our actual relationship in our head. And I'm sorry to all those we can relate. But not try to make anxiety people look bad, like we're the worst set of people they're in a relationship with. We're not, and we're not crazy. We don't use that word over here. I really try my best to make forgiving and inside details about what really are going on. As I mentioned earlier, despite what really are going on in the relationship, I think other things. You get me? So when, for example, when we have an argument and we choose to light way up on them things that instead of sitting down with us and talking with us, knowing so we have a problem, it make we pray, you know. Now I say, and if we help, we hug it up because we really need somebody who will help we overcome it. Not saying again, I'm not saying no responsibility for make we get better. But I mean, if we not do with you and a love way, we can at least try to make it easier then. Because anxiety is not something where I got ever really go away completely. It's there, can control it. We can control how it affect we, but we can't really get rid of it. So that's all I really have to say about relationships and anxiety and relationships. Let me know what you guys think down below. Comment your personal experience. If you want to share with us, then we're happy. We're more than happy to vibe with you, or you can reach out to me personally. My dad for you. Message me on Purpose Channel on Facebook. Follow me on Instagram at Nyli Official, Twitter at Nyli Official. Big up on yourself. And before I forget again, like I'm forgetting that intro, Happy New Year's, you guys. And yeah, 2021 we are go out with a bang, no negative energy, prosperity. I hope we did have a big Christmas dinner. If it never big, then we thank God for whatever we had. And a moment of silence for my beautiful baby boy Chubby that was lost during Christmas. Chubby that I showed you guys in my last video, he actually passed away. He was mauled by dogs, I think, because I was away when it happened. I am still not believing that that's actually what happened. I'm just in denial about it because him have more sense than that. So I'm just take it to him disappear or something. But if it is that he passed, may his sweet soul rest in Paul heaven. So if you're new here, subscribe, hit the bell notification so to get notified when we drop a new video because them a come as me say. They might take time, but them a come. My anxiety turn up for me, but none of that for the new year. We are conquer it, not conquer we. Bye. Mwah.